The Attorney General said the new APNU AFC administration came in for high praises from the Financial Action Task Force, the International Coordinating Review Group, and the FATF plenary. Minister Williams expressed that this was relayed by the bodies during a recently concluded meeting in Paris, France.
That Guyana has demonstrated its commitment to comply with the action plan and is to be commended for having met most of the deadline.
The Attorney General continued that this was largely attributed to the fact Guyana enacted legislation to improve its anti-money laundering, countering the financing of terrorism regime, much to the liking of the overseeing bodies. Minister Williams noted that the present position sees Guyana fully implementing 5 out of the 8 recommendations previously made. The other 3 are partially implemented, but is expected to be completed soon. Williams explained that his absence from a meeting resulted in Guyana being left in that grey status, but this should not be alarming.
What they have seen for government that is only in office for 4 months is like a bright light in terms of how the procedures worldwide are. We have the report. The report is there on the FATF website for all to see. We are in what would be a light gray situation, and I would say this. We probably are in that position because I was unable to go to the face-to-face meeting.
This occurred in Ecuador, but budget issues prevented his travels. But he stated that this face-to-face meeting usually leads to the unraveling of all uncertain areas. The Attorney General said it would have been easier to determine Guyana's status if the situation was different when they took office.
It's the same thing like the Council of Legal Education. They raided everything out of these chambers, so you couldn't find any continuity. So I had to go to the Council of Legal Education to understand exactly what our situation was. Equally, I had to go to the FATF meeting to know exactly what the situation is.
Williams lashed out at the former Attorney General Anil Nandlal, who via a social media post chastised the government for claiming they were FATF compliant. The Attorney General said Nandlal should know better, since he knows only a site visit would make that determination. He is confident that when another opportunity like that presents itself, he can assure that Guyana will be delisted from any naughty list. In responding to questions about those claims of Guyana heading for the blacklist and being non-compliant, Williams explained that the past regime had been fulfilling their own agenda.
But there's no question of us being close to blacklisted, and that brings us to the question of why the previous government had alarmed this nation by saying that we would be blacklisted, all these things would happen to Guyana and the like. When we are maintaining the status quo in the compliance division, if you're maintaining the status quo, it had to exist before we submitted our AML CFT amendment bill and regulations and the FIU's work. So that was a great hoax. And you would note in the report that everything started in 2015.
The Legal Affairs Minister said that the AML bill of itself is excellent, and the government was lauded for its speedy enactment. Williams actually expressed that under the APNU AFC government, Guyana is light years away from being blacklisted by FATF. For HGP Nightly News, Kingsley Bryan.